We'll assume we start with a mesh with nothing on it except a few morphs. The first thing we're going to do is to create a head rig, a basic head rig, which will enable us to move the eyes, the teeth, the tongue, the jaw, and rotate the head. We're just picking the essential items here, the tongue, and then we draw the facial bones. The facial bones automatically gives us the left view. We draw it out until the proportions are roughly correct. It's a good idea to freeze the mesh, and we move the bones around as we see fit. The jawbone should actually follow the lines of the jaw and the jaw rotation. Obviously here the control objects we're moving into convenient locations, but as you'll see later, the control objects probably will be unnecessary after we link them to the joystick controllers. Here the eyelids, the eyelid bones are being moved into position. A certain degree of care has to be exercised here, and once we've got the eye control, we have to point the eyes at it. The best way to do this is go to the top view and align the bones along that blue line which points towards the left and right eye controls. So we go to the other one, top view, move them along so we've got a nice sight line. Otherwise the character will come out cross-eyed. Create the head rig, which does all the maths and the rigging, and you'll find everything works. The eyes move according to as expected, and also we have on the right eyelid controls. These are the default envelopes, by the way. This is what you get right off the bat with the rig. You get the jaw and the head rotating as expected, and the eyelids blinks. This is in the collar we can hide all the controls. We can hide the jaw, the head, the eye control, and also the onboard bone controls which we'll place later. The eyelids work as expected. We've got upper, lower, we have a blink, and they're all the parameters are recorded on the spline so they persist with the file as it moves from one iteration to the next. There we have the lids being related to the eye movement, so you can have a permanent somber look. The next step is to go and draw up some OSPA style joystick controllers, of which there are 4 main types. Depending on what you want to look at, the C type is very common. As you'll see there, it's used for opposing sets of morph targets. And in this case we'll be looking at the lips. The brows also follow this system, and you notice we have lots of options. One of the options is to control an object, such as the chin control. We do this, we set the lower and upper rotations for the X and Y rotations, and this also becomes now part of the joysticks. So not only can we manipulate the morphs, but also the actual physical controls for such things as the head and the jaw. They're placed in the vertical and horizontal slots available, and you'll see immediately we have this rotation. Now once we've done that, we actually don't need the original jaw control, but you'll see on the right here we can weight the movements, which is quite important because the jaw movements and the head movements actually are rather too large. So when we're doing 5 movements, we want to cut down the scope of those movements. And we can also use curves to have nice fall-offs. So we're going to do the brows now, the upper and lower brows. Same thing, opposing sets, morph targets. And since we can pile them on any number at the same time, we can manipulate them simultaneously for interesting effects. As you'll see, this is with one movement we get lots of morph targets responding. We can initialize control 0 out, control 0 1 out, do an animation with one, and then 0 the other out. So it's effectively layering the animations.